Hello, everyone. Welcome to Conversations from the C-Suite. We are getting ready to have another powerful conversation. So, you know what we do. It is time for you to share this out to your network. So, I encourage you, we like to invoke the power of three. Share this out with at least three of your friends or to at least three of your groups because this is a powerful conversation and I don't want to be talking by myself. So we need to invite someone to the broadcast. So we're going to take a few minutes to do what we do best, and that is invite someone to the conversation. So tap into the power of three. Get your favorite beverage. I've got a green tea mixture tonight. I decided to be all good because I ate a little bit too much over the weekend. So I'm trying to be good tonight. But anyway, get your favorite beverage and we will be ready to have another evening of powerful conversations from the C-suite. So I'm going to take a few minutes to invite some people myself. So I want you to hang tight and invite. Well, welcome everyone to Conversations from the C-Suite, the girlfriend's guide to being the CEO. I am your host, Dr. Stephanie D. Barnes, CEO of C-Suite Women's Network, where I help women and a few good men to be the CEOs of their lives. Being the CEO of your life means that you are developing strategies to achieve the results you desire in your business, your life, and beyond. Every woman needs to be the CEO of her life. She needs to have a seat at the table. Because here's the great thing when a woman has a seat at the table, she makes room for others. Conversations from the C-Suite is a power packed hour that provides women a platform to share their business and career experiences because we know that life doesn't end when we leave the office. We want to make sure that we elevate our mindsets and compel each other to take actions because CEOs don't just wait for great things to happen, they make great things happen. And the C-suite is where the decisions are made. And every company has a C-suite, and you have a C-suite yourself. It is where you make the decisions to create the life you desire and deserve. And of course, as a CEO, the chief executive officer, executive is not in there by default, it is there by design. As the CEO of your life, you are the one who gets to make the decisions upon the direction, come up with the ideas, develop the strategy, and build great teams to execute the goals. Being a CEO, you can find yourself in three places. You may be a CEO on the rise. You're just getting started. You're thinking about this CEO of your life thing, and you just need to know where to get started. You may be a CEO on the move. You've been at this CEO game for a while, but you're ready to take it to the next level. You need to connect with others to help you to really get your CEO stride on. And then you may be a CEO. You have been doing it, you have been excelling, but you know that being a CEO is not a plateau, it is a place of elevation. So, Conversations from the C Suite is the girlfriend's guide to the C Suite. It's where women and a few good men have powerful conversations about real things that matter to real women who are ready to enter the C Suite of their life. And here in the C Suite, we want to equip you to make those CEO moves. We want you to feel something, learn something, but most of all, girl, you got to do something. Making those CEO moves means that you are creating your circles of influence. You are educating and empowering yourself for elevation. And most of all, you are operationalizing what you learn to optimize your outcome. So this is indeed a conversation. So please share your comments. Please ask questions. But most of all, please make sure you feel something, learn something, and then do something. Whether you report to a CEO or are the CEO of your own business, you are always the CEO of your life. So let's talk about strategies that help you to capitalize on your most powerful asset, the power of choice. You have the power to create an extraordinary outcome in your business and your life. So are you ready? Are you ready to enter the C-suite? Are you ready to have a great conversation to help you make CEO moves? Well, I am glad that you are, because you are in the right place. So tonight, we're going to focus on putting your purse where it will have power. We're continuing our financial series where we've been helping CEOs to make those money moves. Now, you've heard the saying it's bad luck to put your purse on the floor. But let's be real. Putting your purse on the floor is not what's wrecking your finances. It's putting your purse on that retail counter or sitting it next to your desk while you shopping online. We need to have a candid discussion about our money fears, those money myths, and those bad habits that are making our bank accounts in the red. It is time to overcome shopping addictions and extreme retail therapy. Because if you really want to make CEO moves, you got to be a real CFO and shut down the financial foolery. So tonight, we are going to have a great conversation around achieving purse power. Now, I didn't come up with that all by myself. I came up with that because of the powerhouse CEO that I am about to bring to the virtual stage. I am so excited that we have in the lobby none other than Jennifer Harris. She is known as the woman with the Midas touch. Everything she touches turns into a legacy. A true advocate, Jennifer has devoted her life to creating financial freedom for Black women around the globe. After achieving explosive success in her own right as a residential real estate mogul, she knew that she could not leave her sisters behind. So she founded Buy It and Flip It Woman, an investment consultancy which turns everyday women into real estate moguls. But she didn't stop there, y'all. She is the CEO of Purse Power Network. She has ignited a worldwide movement for Black women to step into their destiny of wealth. Her soon-to-be released book and blockbuster documentary, The Black Woman's Declaration of Independence, will be the beacon call for Black women everywhere to rise to new heights, seizing the economic power that is theirs to claim. She continues to I can't even talk. I'm so excited about her getting here. She continues to pave the path to financial freedom with her introduction to the Black Woman's Traders Academy, where she teaches Black women her exclusive blueprint to building an investment portfolio that'll make Warren Buffett swoon. So without any further ado, I want to bring to the virtual stage none other than my girl, Jennifer Harris. Hey!
Hey!
How are you?
I am doing well. I was like, who was she describing? Who was
Look, long
that?
time no see.
I know. You know what? We just need to move to the same
I
city.
know. I know.
I had so much fun.
I know. We were just at a conference together in Biloxi, Mississippi. We were
Yeah.
there for Success Women's Conference where we were taking it vertical, hanging out with Lisa Nichols and everything, you know. But we had a really great time, and we always have a great time when we're together. And I'm so excited to have you on the show tonight to help us get our purse power in check. So, for those of you who are new, and for those of you who have been here before, you know how we get it started. I always start with the who, the what, and the why. So, you've heard a little bit about who you are and what you do, but I want you to tell me, who is Jennifer Harris? What do you do, and why do you make CEO moves?
Well, so who is Jennifer Harris? Well, I am a country girl from North Carolina. And I just love life. And I actually am born and raised right in Raleigh area, Raleigh, Wake Forest area. I grew up, my mother was a school teacher and my dad was a veteran. So I had the best parents in the world. And I actually just grew up in a household where, education was important because mama said, you better get them good grades, so you go to school, get this job. And my dad actually just instilled in me a lot of just pretty much independence as a woman, especially as a black, little black girl growing up in the country. He wanted me to be very independent.
Yes.
So I'm just a woman that, try and pursue her goals and dreams. And I'm a business owner, real estate. I've been doing real estate a little over close to 15 years now. And I used to be a network engineer, which I hated, by the way. I love the people that I work with, but my mother wanted me to go into the engineering field. So I did that. And then I jumped into real estate when a lot of jobs got shipped overseas. And I just decided to make, pretty much power CEO moves because I'm 100% responsible for my own income.
Yeah.
So I had to do something, or either I was going to be landing out with some family members on the street.
Yeah. So you made those money moves. And, we're going to get more into her story in a little bit, but I'll tell you, Jennifer is truly a powerhouse, powerful woman, and just a great person to be around. As I shared, we've had the opportunity to hang out together this past weekend, and you are going to really enjoy learning from her, because that's one thing we love about having conversations. We just chit-chatting, but you learning some good stuff while you're doing it. So, it's funny that, your mom wanted you to be an engineer. My dad wanted me to be an engineer, and I went to Mississippi State to major in chemical engineering. And quickly realized, this ain't for me.
But no, ma'am.
Yeah. But, a lot of times we will begin making those money moves based on the influence of our parents because they want us to get a good job. And, my dad's rationale, much like your mom's, was, well, engineers make good money. You'll be able to always make good money. But it's so important to get into something that you love, so that as you're making that money, you are also fulfilling your purpose.
That's right.
So you mentioned, that you initially were in engineering, and then kind of when there's a downturn, I guess, in that industry, you decided to get into real estate. I mean, how did you do that? I mean, you said you're 100% responsible for your own income. Mm-hmm. So how did you even get started? What were some of the challenges you faced, and then how did you overcome them to get to where you are now?
Well, one of the biggest challenges I faced when it comes to real estate, not actually real estate, I would say engineering, is that there were hardly any women, let alone African American or Black women. And I found myself just pretty much lost. Like, I'm not really feeling this. It wasn't, they didn't give you that warm and fuzzy feeling, or they always would feel like, you're kind of like the secretary. It really ticked me off. when you're answering the call for working on somebody's network that's worth millions and millions and millions of dollars, but they still paid you about 70% of what the men would make, but you still had to do the same studying, you still had to do the same hours, and engineering was the sexy thing to do at the time, but it started to be where a lot of jobs got shipped overseas. So because companies were looking to downsize, or they were looking to what they call right size, or bring on people as contractors, which some of my friends still do that to this day, overseas. And I found, like, you know what? I started to see the writing on the wall when I would come in. Now, number one step, they put me on weekend nights. Now, how are you going to be a single woman working every weekend? You can't catch a man like that, right? When you on call at 8 o'clock, you had to be there on call during the week. Yeah. And then you had to go in at 8 p.m. on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to 8 a.m. And I saw how that affected so many, not just myself. Yeah. But I saw how it affected so many other family. Like that's just, I mean, how you gonna spend time with your kids if you have them, or your marriage. So engineering was one of those things that it was glorified, but it really was not all cracked up what it should be. And is to this day. Yeah. 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 So you made those CEO moves, came up with your plan, and made your transition. So, why did you pick real estate? Of all the things you could have done, why did you pick real estate? Well, I picked real estate because in my hometown in Raleigh, we used to have these parade of homes where we would get in the car. This was long before HGTV was even out. So it was like parade of homes. It was like once a year for like 3 weekends. And you get these homes that were in magazines and all this stuff. And I was like, wow, just the fact of even knowing that somebody even lives in a house like that. Right. And then I started thinking, hold on, but somebody had to have built the house, and somebody had to have sold the house. Right. So I was in this company. Actually, my mother used to sell insurance growing up. So she always was dreaming. I would put these pictures on the refrigerator. I'm gonna buy her this type of house, or I would go look at these particular houses. But then when I got to be like 18, 19 years old, I got into this company called Amway. You probably remember Amway, right? Everybody's probably been in Amway. Yes. But one thing Amway taught me how to do is to dream. And I never thought that I would be now selling those dream homes from parade of homes that were there like when I was 19 years old. Yeah. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do something that I love. I knew that it put a smile on people's face. And it was the only profession I know, Stephanie, that it doesn't matter if you're a woman. It doesn't matter if you're a man. It doesn't matter if you're white. It doesn't matter if you're black. At the closing table, you all made the same.
Yep, got that green. That's right. That is right.
Same amount.
Right, right. And, and I love how, basically you turned, something you saw as a little kid into now your real estate empire. I mean, because you've taken it beyond just selling homes. You teach other women how to create real estate empires for themselves. And, and that's something that's really important in being a CEO of your life is, to have this idea, to have this dream, and then turn it into something and build it and help it to grow. So, and I love how, you found that, in real estate, everybody has parity, at the closing table, you were able to find a way to where, you got all of the fruits of your hard work, and it wasn't going to be dependent upon your gender or your race.
Right.
It's what you got.
Exactly. Because I had, for 7, 8, pretty much, 7, 8 years being an engineer, I just wanted something that I could be appreciated. Number one, that I could be helping other people, not just sitting behind the computer, and not there's anything wrong with that. Yeah. I'm thankful for my counselor back when I was in college. I went to NC State University, and my counselor at the time, I never forget her. She told me, she says, you need to go into business management and just major in marketing and computers. And I never understood why she told me that, but I appreciate she was a white woman that told me that. So I appreciate her telling me that because it has longevity versus just doing something that I did not, want to do.
Yeah.
So doing in real estate, I jumped all in, tried to learn as much as I could. Still to this day, I have a great, awesome real estate coach that coached me. And I find that once I really took the lid off of, my imagination as far as what I thought real estate was about, or just helping other people. And when I sold my first house, like listing, like a week, this was like 15 years ago, long before the Zillow, the Trulia, and all of that. Yeah. And being rookie of the year, my first year in real estate really showed me that, hey, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, and you could do it. And one of the things that I hope y'all really picked up on, one of the C in CEO moves is creating circles of influence. And I hope you heard what she talked about is, she had someone who didn't look like her, wasn't necessarily somebody she grew up with, but saw something in her and connected her to opportunities. And that's something that we have to be willing to do,
right?
To listen, first of all, and listen and learn and be curious. And, really create those circles of influence where we are able to connect to people who have experiences beyond what we've experienced. Because like you, both my parents were educators. And so, growing up, all I saw were educators. And so, that's probably where I would have ended up. But I was very fortunate that my aunt Demetria lived in Columbus, Georgia. She was a pharmacist and her husband was a physician. So when I go to visit them, I would get to see people doing things other than education. I was like, oh my gosh, there's all these other things out here. That was one of my majors. I mean, I changed my major 8 times. I had a little difficulty choosing, but that's the importance of creating those circles of some influence. So I didn't just put that C in the CEO mood just because I thought it was cute. It's because that's how we truly make those CEO moves, when we're able to connect and listen and then learn how to apply it for ourselves. So you get into real estate, become rookie of the year, and that launches you to where you are now as not only an awesome real estate agent, but someone who's truly built a real estate empire and who has made a seat at the table for others. So y'all, she went and found the house, put a table in the house, and now she has invited others to come sit at the table. So tell us a little bit about was it Flip It, your
Buy It and Flip It women.
Yeah, Buy It and Flip It woman. Yeah, a women. Is a women woman. Yeah.
Yes. So I actually wanted to create. Now I tell you, women are the fastest growing demographic when it comes to houses.
Because we do some houses.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
When it comes to Black women, and on top of that, women have no longer sat around and waited for men to, wait for the man to buy the house or wait for the man to, because a lot of women are corporate, or they sit here and get married. If they do have a house, when they get married, they just use that one as an investment and then get one with their husband or spouse. So the lid has been taken off when it comes to the mindset about real estate. But I thought about just pretty much flipping houses or flipping land because of the fact that I saw the growth in the area that we have. And of course, everybody's coming into town now, trying to help people flip property and those type of things, which is it's kind of gotten like a cliche now. Oh, I want to flip a house. But it's something that even Warren Buffett, when he decided to invest in a real estate company, I was like, okay, that is the big key when it comes to building wealth. Not only just, holding property for rental property, investment property, because I believe every woman should have at least one investment property. Because you never know when you're going to need that nest egg.
Yeah.
Or something that you can sell later. But also when it comes to women and real estate and flipping the property, it actually gives you the power to create wealth and leverage yourself versus, putting all your eggs in one basket. And we need multiple streams as women.
Yes. Because it's so funny you talk about, that every woman should have one investment, at least one investment property. Because, I recently been divorced for 2 years now. Of course, just renting right now. But my goal is in 2 years, and I keep saying that, putting it out there so people can hold me accountable. I'm putting it out there into the universe. I'm attracting that energy and doing what I need to do to actually be able to accomplish it. But, I've always said that in 2 years, I want to buy a home. And I want it to be a home that I live in, just because I want a nice home. And then when I marry, it will be either I will have it turned into a rental property.
That's
or
right.
So see that? Look at that, Jennifer. I'm on the right track. I'm on the right track.
That's right. And I believe it's going to happen less than 2 years.
All right, I received that. I received
2 years or less.
Yes,
less than 2 years. That's right.
And because it's so funny. I was coming back from the Mississippi Gulf Coast, coming back into Atlanta on Friday. No. On Sunday, I went to visit my son. Anyway, sorry, but I was coming back into Atlanta from Tuscaloosa, and coming through just a neighborhood, and along this street, it was kind of a blighted neighborhood. It wasn't the fanciest, but there were a lot of beautiful homes that were just in disrepair. And as I was going down that road, I kept saying to myself, what I would love to do and what I want to position myself to do is to one day come back and buy up these homes.
Exactly, buy up the block,
renovate them, and turn this into a beautiful neighborhood. Because it was a beautiful neighborhood. You could tell that it was, but it just kind of faced some disrepair. So with your, with helping other women to learn this business, or learning how to create investment properties for themselves, how did you do that, and how were you able to mobilize other women in helping them along that way?
Well, I tell women to start small. I mean, you don't have to start with this big. Now, it depends on your location and area, of course. There's some houses that are like in California, by chance, you can buy 10 houses, in North Carolina for what the cost of some of those are. But I tell women to start small, but don't feel defeated if they don't have all the cash or don't have always the credit. Because I also put together these real estate pools where you can go in and together, set up a, even if it's a corporation or however they decide to do it, and they purchase properties together and get your start that way, leverage that property so they can go on and move to other property. But start small, don't try and jump out there in something that, is so big, because they can start with a townhome. They can start with a piece of land that they end up putting a house on, building a house on and then selling it later, because that's pretty big right now. Of course, they can also start with maybe how to effectively utilize, with proper risk management, talking to their CPA, how to effectively utilize some of our investors that will actually loan them the money, and also, their 401k. So I help women do that as well. Okay.
So, you have to start somewhere, and, every empire begins with a small start, and then it gets a chance to grow.
Right.
Now, I know you have moved on, or, one of your progressions, I should say, not necessarily moved on, but now you have the Purse Power Network. Tell us about this Purse Power Network, because, girl, my purse, I know, need a little bit more power than what it's got right now.
Oh, my purse needs a whole lot more power.
Yes.
After this past weekend with Lisa Nichols, right?
My mind has been turned. As a matter of fact, I've been thinking about it. But anyway, I get off tangent. Anyway,
I had to actually apologize to God, because I said I have been playing way too small, but I also was a little bit fearful to put some things out there, because sometimes once you put it out there, you're like, okay, now I got to do the work.
Yeah.
And when Purse Power Network came about, is that I wanted truly in my heart to help women stop being marginalized like I was as an engineer, or stop being, somewhat fearful of having their own money. Because my dad always taught me to, number one, be independent. He taught me at the age of 15, he took me to get my first car, Stephanie. Yeah. My first car at 15, sat down with me about how to negotiate the contract. Now, I was probably primed for doing real estate anyway.
Yeah.
So, how to negotiate the contract, how to ask for what I wanted, how to get something on my own terms. And I had a car payment that was helping me build up good credit, at the age of 15, 16 years old. And I actually made the car payment, but they paid the insurance. Now, I was in the 10th grade and I hated, I never understood that. Like, why are you guys like, everybody else?
Ain't you supposed to pay for this for me? Ain't you parents?
Yes. And it was a stick shift.
Oh,
he
my
made
goodness.
me learn on a stick shift, and I could never understand that why. But he said one thing to me that has always stuck by me. My dad said, no daughter of mine would ever have to depend on getting stuck with a man or stuck like on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And I never understood that till later on. So I always take that to heart when my dad taught me how to jump into like deals or take a chance in business, because he was a paratrooper when he was in the military. So he's always taking me, teaching me, and I thank God for it, because I realized not everyone may have had somebody in their life to teach them that, but I want to pass that on and have been passing that on to other women to not only just jump into your own financial freedom, but also that they can truly have power in their purse if they just start small and just keep building and building and building.
Yes. Because, I love the name, like purse power, because, there's a, you see it like a meme, and you see different sayings around this way, something about, you would rather have, buy a $20 purse and have $200 in it than to buy a $200 purse and only have $20 in it. It's kind of like, how a lot of times we're really distorted in how we take power out of our purse.
Right.
We're more concerned about the purse than what is actually in the purse.
Yes.
And all we have is a pretty bag, as opposed to having something that's really holding the power of our credit, our credit worthiness, the power of our net worth, and the power of us to be able to leverage. Because you talked about the importance of being able to negotiate. Well, if you don't have any money to negotiate, you are going to have a little bit less leverage at the table. So having your purse power helps you to really have that ability to negotiate when you get to the table. Now, because I wanted to just take a moment before we get into, there was a time when your purse, your purse was a little struggling there, which is how you have learned so much to be able to help others. But before we get into that, I just wanted to bring to you this episode was brought to you by C-Suite Women's Network. C-Suite Women's Network offers professional and personal leadership development, strategic planning, and organizational and performance excellence strategies. And in C-Suite Women's Network, you can learn how to bring your ideas into strategies, into execution. The mission of C-Suite Women's Network is to equip women to be the CEOs of their lives, to use their education, experience, and influence to create the lives they desire and deserve. If you want to be a better CEO in your business, you must be a CEO of your life. Get equipped to get the results you desire in your business. Go on over to discovertheceoinyou.com. That's discovertheceoinyou.com to schedule your strategy session. So, back to this purse power. Today we are talking about the fact that some of us are doing some financial foolery as it relates to our financial decisions. And I know, I ain't the pot calling the kettle black. As I used to, I was a female addicted to retail for quite some time myself. But, share with us your story of the time that your Polo purse was kind of pitiful, and how you turn that around to get to where now, not only does your purse have power, but you're helping other women's purses to have power as well.
Well, I tell you, sis, there was a time where I thought that what I wore, I thought what I car that I drive, I thought the type of purse that I did have, I thought that meant something. And always having to show, look good on the outside. But I had a very low self-esteem. I would just go shop just to be shopping because I was either bored, or I would go shopping just because, I was trying to look good for the next event and not thinking about putting that money into, the stock market or just, paying off debt. Because at one time, and can I tell you, I had 23 credit cards.
Oh my gosh. I don't even, because, of course, y'all, I've heard her so, but when she says 23 credit cards, I know your girl had like about 10, but,
and I don't even 23. It ain't that's Jordan's number, but I didn't have no Jordan money, right? Michael Jordan's number may be 23, but it was so easy to do because what they do, they prime you to go ahead and get into debt at an early age. Like before you even sign the dotted line going to college, they have all the credit card places on campus, right?
Because my freshman year, I had 2 credit cards.
Exactly.
Didn't have nan job, no income, but I had 2 credit cards.
2 credit cards.
2 credit cards.
So we're accustomed automatically to think debt or to think plastic. And so I would go to, time to go shopping, you're like, oh, let me go see what kind of shoes I have. You don't go just buy 1 pair, or, you want different colors, or it's on sale. It's only $30. That $30 can end up to be $300. And even in college, it's time to go out, trying to basically what they call keep up with the Joneses. But I don't really look at it that way. I look at it that it was just spending out of control. That's really what it was. Just spending for no reason. I often had cards that dealt with like some stores. These stores are not even open anymore. Like I guess they're not.
Yeah, Structure. I remember Structure. Y'all worked at Structure.
Structure, or these different companies that you go and they ask you, do you want 10% off? Oh, okay. But they ain't tell you it's a 25% interest rate. Right. And still to this day, I said, you know what? 23 credit cards. And I said, because it was just tired of getting the phone calls, tired of messing up my credit over a little $20 or $300 limit. So I actually took every single card one day and I wrote it down because I really had to see what kind of pain I was doing to myself and my finances. So I wrote them all down on a piece of paper, what the balance was. And it was kind of ridiculous how some of them started at like a $300 or $500 balance and ended up being $750 or $1,000, and you hadn't even used it. But that's the trap that they actually want us to do, because America is built on debt. And it also boils down to trying to make yourself feel good or look good, but really that comes from the inside out.
Yeah, because you hit a very important point, and I think a lot of women aren't really honest, with the correlation of their self-esteem and their debt, because I just have to put it out there for myself. I didn't have 23 cards. I only had like 3 or 4, but the balance on them was like ridiculous. But it was shopping tied to self-esteem because and I really had to do some self-reflection to because it didn't do any good necessarily to cut the credit card up, because then I go out and get another one, or I just would spend money other places, use my debit card or use the cash or whatever. But I really had to look in the mirror and honestly understand why was I shopping. And like you, it was low self-esteem, even though on the outside I was all fabulous.
You still are.
Yes, I am. But even like on the outside and all of my accomplishments were fabulous. On the inside, I was, just facing all of these just self-doubt issues that I masked with clothing and appearances and things that I felt were the outward representation of success, when truly, that didn't have anything to do with it at all. So I'm with you, girl. Yeah. So
one of my close friends, I asked her one day, because she, I noticed that she wore the same outfit to this event. And I said, hey, no, it was no shade, but I just happened to just, we took talk candidly. And she was like, oh, I mean, she has a very nice purse, that she paid, rightfully so, paid cash for it. But she has a lot of, power in her purse. Mm-hmm. She told me, she said, sis, wealthy people don't wear their money.
Yeah.
But wealthy people invest their money. And
that's a hashtag of a moment there. Wealthy people don't wear their money. Wealthy people invest
their money.
Yeah.
That's right. So you can be walking down the street and you see someone that they may have on a pair of jeans, or they may have on, I'm not saying don't look good when you go out.
Right.
What I'm saying is that you don't have to buy an outfit every single time.
Mm-hmm.
You go into an event, or social media has made it so that people feel like they have to over deliver for something that really is not necessary, Mm-hmm. And even there was an article that I think First Lady Michelle Obama put out. There was this dress that she wore again, and she was like, "You doggone Skippy, I'm gonna wear it again."
Yeah,
it cost a lot of money,
right?
And I think that society, unfortunately, on women, because men can wear the same suit the whole week.
I know, just change their tie.
Yeah. But as women, I think we tend to kind of look too much as far as like, oh, well, she wore that the last time, or she wore that Friday and this Wednesday, stuff like that. We got to stop putting those stereotypes, you know what I'm saying, that on people,
pressure,
right, that pressure on it. And because I haven't always, and I still to this day have goals financially, because I haven't arrived. I tell anybody, I've made some of the worst mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I have allowed the wrong relationships where guys take advantage, yes.
Yeah.
So I have not always been as confident, and I'm not as confident as I, want to be, but it's a growing process.
Mm-hmm. And the first step truly is to recognize, that you have a problem, or that there is a behavioral driver behind your spending habits.
Right.
And I think, like I said, a lot of times we're not really honest with ourselves about why we're spending the money we're spending. And, I read a book earlier this year. I don't have it here, but I've forgotten the exact name, but it was about experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And, it really was a great book to read. I read it in January. So it was a great book to read at the beginning of the year. And one of the things that I committed to this year was having better experiences. But not necessarily experience tied to any financial value, but just truly having better experiences in the everyday things. Because, for a number of reasons, I'm not traveling as much this year. Mm-hmm. And I've really had an opportunity to just focus on what truly makes me joyful.
Right.
Because, from a financial perspective and my spending, I've spent less this year, than I have in previous years, but I'm more joyful, and I've had, I think, better experiences. Well, last year was hard to top, because I went to India and I went to Italy, so those cost a little pretty penny. But what I'm saying, is we have to truly focus on being able to find those great experiences that are not necessarily tied to money, so that when we do make the purchase, it's just because it's something that we want, and we're not trying to make up for or make, we're not focused on the material aspect of it, and then don't enjoy it.
Right.
Don't enjoy it at all, because you get back home and a credit card bill waiting on you.
Right. Or you trying to make up because of a breakup. You had to break up. Now you're trying to make up for
right.
Where you're not happy.
Right. Because you mentioned just about the effect it has on relationships, and I think that's something we also have to be very honest with. Is because I know I was so bad, especially when I was married, I'd have all my packages shipped to my office.
But women still do it today.
Yeah. And and I think about just how bad that was, just in retrospect, 'cause I've done a lot of reflective activities, and just really looking at how I can be a better part of a relationship going forward. And I look back on that, I'm like, that's just as bad as him slipping, if he was slipping numbers or something, his numbers in his pocket or whatever, or texting other women or whatever.
Right.
And it's something that we have to be honest about. And if we're truly going to build, a relationship together, we have to be honest about the money.
That's right.
But another thing you talked about too that we have to be honest about is being able to protect ourselves in a relationship, and making sure that we know how to take care of money. We know how to find the money. How to take care of ourselves so that we're not put in a position of where we don't have any leverage because we don't know anything about money. All we know how to do is spend money. You got to know how to save it and all those things as well.
Right. So I'll tell you, because I was married before as well, and I'm divorced. But at the time, I remember the pastor that married me and my ex-husband at the time. The first question that he asked on a piece of paper for counseling was, "How much money do you have saved?"
Yeah.
Now, that question alone caused you to pause, kind of like, well, dang, you thinking you getting together with somebody that may have this going on or that thing going on. But then you realize that is, and each person had to answer that, because they realize it takes money to, number one, run a household.
Right.
It takes money to put kids in the best schools. If you want them to be in the best schools, it doesn't have to necessarily be private school, but your zip code a lot of times determine sometimes whether or not your kids are going to get a really good education.
Right.
But also, when women are empowered with their own money, for some reason, I think it gives them a lot more security and confidence. But there are some that are controlled by money. If a man controls the money, or the creativity, but nowadays the roles have reversed. Well, a lot of women are making more than the men. And that's not to put them down for anything, but
the way the scales have flipped, so to speak. Yeah.
So I'm thankful that the example that my mother set, even though she was a school teacher, she still kept a couple of side hustles. And I think that taught me, like, okay, you need to have your own money. And she had her own credit cards. She had her own. And my dad didn't downplay that, because he realized she was still a mother. She was still a woman. She was still an independent woman. She was still his wife. And it's not that anything would take away from it. But the relationship with money is one of the things that is always continually that I found that I have to really reflect on. Like, what truly was my relationship with money then, a year from now, 5 years from now, 5 years ago, 10 years ago when I was married, now that I'm divorced. It's so up and down that sometimes you sit here and wonder, like, you got to sit here and wonder, like, really, truly, do I have a healthy relationship with money?
Yeah. Because it's so funny you mentioned it, because I just finished reading a book that's sitting on the floor. It's called Money Makes Me Crazy.
Oh.
And one of the things that the book explores is, our relationship with money, and the fact that most of our money decisions are emotional. You and I kind of talked about this weekend about, because we had an opportunity to invest in a coaching opportunity. And in the past, I have made all of my coaching decisions based on emotion.
Right.
And for the first time, I was able to sit there and just think through it and not try to make a decision emotionally.
Right.
And I think that that's something that we have to learn how to do, is to, as I say, take our feelings out of our finances.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, you got to take your feelings out your finances. I know we have some ladies who have joined us, and I want to thank you so much for joining in.
Yes.
And I just want to say, this is a conversation. So if you have any questions, or you want to come in, you want to say amen, or if y'all over there being quiet because we stepping on your toes, but if any of this is resonating with you, of course we do want to hear from you, because again, that's one of the reasons I chose as the second series. For those of you who have not been tuning in for the first time, Conversations from the C-Suite is a weekly talk show, and you can go to csuitewomen.tv, csuitewomen.tv, to catch previous sessions. And we started out with a series on mental health, and now we've moved into a series on financial health, because I want women CEOs in particular to protect the powerful asset, their minds, But y'all, we got to have some money. We've got to be able to make good financial decisions so that our empires are financially stable. So I know, like with personal,
even the word says that.
Go ahead.
That's what I say. Even the word says that money answereth all things. And if you think about how many scriptures, I mean, those that are believers like myself, as far as the Bible, I look at how much the Bible talks about finances, and even still the fact that our relationship with money. But where you were saying about mental, as far as finances are mental, because a lot of times it takes a mindset for us to be thinking and building wealth. And it's not something that's sexy. Like, we don't want to put away, this $100 out of our paycheck, or, this $50 here or there, because we think it's too small, but it builds up over time.
Yeah, it adds up. Because, I just recently, because, I'm building my millionaire mindset. So one of the things that, I've been focusing on a lot is just really understanding my relationship with money and my mindset. And so all the books I've been reading are about wealth, prosperity, because one, I want to learn. I want to create circles of influence with folks who have made some money. You included. So, but just because that's how you learn. That's how you learn. But I just recently listened to, was it Redefining Wealth podcast by Patrice C. Washington.
Yep, I like Patrice.
Yes, and one of the things I love that she talks about is just all these different things that influence your mindset and how you view, actions such as investing and saving, and just how that a lot of times we are seeking wealth with a poverty mindset.
Yes.
We are seeking wealth with a poverty mindset. And it is so important for us to embrace a wealth mindset. And, my parents really didn't talk to me about money, and, I knew they made money, and I knew, they had money issues or whatever, but we never really just sat down and talked about credit cards or wealth or just anything. They all, they did talk to me about the importance of education and getting a good job, but not anything in detail beyond wealth building. And I think that's so important for us to have conversations. And a lot of times when money comes up, everybody want to get quiet.
Right.
And sometimes you get, it is so funny. We have a Patrice Washington who has joined, because it was so funny when she talked about, I was like, oh my gosh, Patrice Washington on here. Yes. But girl, you claim that you are going to have that same level of wealth as well. But it's so important for us, especially as women, to have conversations around wealth. And I love how you talked about, what was it, I guess kind of like a real estate collective, if you will, the real estate pool, where women came together to actually invest in properties. And we've got to be willing to collaborate and ask questions, because in addition to Jennifer just being awesome, and I love hanging around here, I want to learn from her and learn from what she's doing, because I want to be a real estate mogul one day myself. So you have to connect with people who are doing the things that you want to do, or have done the things that you want to do, because there's a wealth transfer in conversation transfers. And that's why you want to make sure you having powerful conversations. Y'all not just chit-chatting about any old thing, but you have some substance. I'll say one more thing, because I know you're trying to talk, but it's just so funny. I happen to be, was I on Instagram or Facebook Live? I don't, Cardi B of all people pops up. He had a Facebook Live. Right. I like Cardi B. I like her music. She kind of out there a little bit, but this was a really great conversation. She was talking about the importance of education, and not so much as going to college, but she talked about her college experience, but learning about business and marketing, like your professor helped you with. But I thought that was so great for her, of all people, to be having that conversation, because there are a lot of young girls who look at her as an entertainer, but don't fully appreciate the money, the
business side of her, right?
Behind that. And so it was just really great. She was talking like in her own voice and her own style, but it was some good stuff. So we got to have powerful conversation. Now I'm gonna be quiet for a minute. Go just.
No, you're good. So what you made me think about was when you was talking about just the fact of the relationship with money. What was not also taught to me was what's the number. People say what's the number one book out there. Mm-hmm. Some people think it's the Bible, but really it's the checkbook.
Hello.
And when you think about it, when somebody has sat down with you and showed you what a checkbook is and does, and I know people don't necessarily write checks anymore, but think about how they have simultaneously caused you to already spend your money before it's in your hand, i.e. direct deposit.
Yeah.
I.e. having your check automatically, tied to your Visa debit card where you don't even carry cash around with you because you just swipe. Mm-hmm. So mentally, it puts you in those habits that you're automatically like, oh yeah, this $3,000 just got deposited on Friday, but you already unspent it because you're thinking you don't even see your money.
Right.
And it's no longer where people actually have your money. My grandma used to have hers stacked under the pillow. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you can feel your money. So that way you really know how much you really have. Yeah, berserk. You always say, my grandma always tell you, make sure you keep a 20 on you.
Yeah.
20 and a hat would get you everywhere.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
My granny always told me that, but she said that for a reason because people think about it. Mm-hmm. How many times do you ask somebody, can I have $20? Mm-hmm. They don't have no cash on them, but they got that card. Mm-hmm. And it's only gone from a credit card to your Visa card. But when you don't really feel your money and you don't really know how much money you have, then those habits, you just spending, because.
Yeah, because that's one of the big changes that I've made this year is I don't use my credit cards anymore. I only use my debit card because I have to keep up with everything, and it makes me more conscious of my spending.
Right.
And because, I'll just say, with the credit card, shoot, a lot of times when that credit card bill came, I was like, I don't even remember doing all of this because I didn't have a system. I just swiped, or because my problem was online shopping. Oh my gosh. Online shopping and eBay. I had an eBay problem for a while. Competitive. That's why I don't gamble. but I wasn't keeping account of it. And before you know it, those balances were like super high. And then I'd be looking like real crazy, like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And
because subconsciously it's programming you to swipe. Because it wants you to automatically live paycheck to paycheck. Because I think that's a life on the pits of hell that you're gonna sit here and live paycheck to paycheck. But you still have people just like think about the 30 for 30 with these athletes, or they get millions of dollars, and at the end of their career, before the end of their career, they're broke.
Oh, right.
That mindset, but it's also the relationship, to money.
Right.
You have as much money as you want to. You can put as much money, in the offering or whatever. You still have to have a great relationship, and it's an ongoing thing. It's like Bishop Jakes talks about having 7 streams of income. I think about 7 streams of income. I'm like, okay, and it doesn't have to be that you got 7 different jobs out here or 7 different businesses that you're doing, but when you truly are tapping into your gifts and the wealth, because he says he gives us the power to create the wealth. And we have that in us, but I think oftentimes we just minimize it because we don't see it as right now money.
Right.
It as that gift that we put on ourselves. Or as women, we give away our talents on things that we should be getting compensated for.
Hello.
Right. That's that C-suite. That's that CEO.
You've got to think like a CEO because, that is such an important point because there are so many of us who feel guilty for charging. Not only sometimes we feel guilty for charging at all, but feel guilty for charging the value of our services. And we shortchange ourselves because, this is my gift. Girl, you better get paid off your gift. Right. My gift got a value and my gift pays my bills.
Right. Because your gift will make room for you though.
Yes.
That's the word.
Yes.
Think about it. That truly is so simple as that. Your gift will make room for you. But, my saying, closed mouths don't get fed.
Right. Right.
And it's no longer that women gonna, hang around or say, oh, you know what, I can do this. But women have been carrying this country, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Not only just women, but Black women in particular, for years. Mm-hmm. And it's no longer, but we have been, just going down, down, down. Mm-hmm. But we're the most educated mm-hmm. when it comes to, education or degrees. And those degrees don't equal money.
Don't, unless, let me just say this. Unless you are going to negotiate when you get to the table, don't be fooled and think you got to give what is handed to you, because that was the biggest mistake I made. Right. And here I was, a Harvard trained attorney.
Harvard.
Great. I was so grateful.
You're so smart. Look at Harvard.
Yeah. But here I was, Harvard trained attorney. I negotiated for other clients now, but when I sat down at that table for my first job outside of the law firm, it's a step and lock process. But mm-hmm. when I negotiated, or when I went to my first professional job where I was an executive, I took the first offer they gave me.
And most women do, because one of my friends, Doreen, she used to work in HR, and she said that's the biggest mistake that women do is taking the first offer.
But you better believe when it came time, the second time around, I just didn't know. I mean, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And at some point, I don't know. Well, one, I want to make more money. That was right. First. I want to make more money, and then I started to research, and then I began to research. Well, for this position, this is the range, and this is the range based on this experience and these outcomes. So when I went back for, I guess maybe it was, I don't know if it was the second or third year, but whenever I went back to negotiate for my next raise, I went with the information. And I said, here is what I deserve based on the revenues of this company, what I do, the experience. And I look on my CEO's face like, who told her this? Where'd she get this from?
That's right.
And as the attorney, I review all of the contracts and all of the employment agreements. And I saw time and time again where women would not ask for an employment agreement.
Right.
And the men would, because if you got the employment agreement, in it came certain protections and benefits. And I would just always see the men executives that we would hire, and physicians for that matter, would negotiate more aggressively.
Right.
Their compensation, and the women, we just grateful. Y'all need to stop being grateful.
Right.
Get your feelings out your finance. You can be grateful when you negotiate for yourself.
That's right.
And get what you deserve, because it's not about anybody giving you anything. It is about you being paid what you deserve. Now, some of it's discriminatory practices.
Right.
We contribute to it to a certain extent when we don't ask for it. And having powerful conversations like this are what help us to know to ask. I didn't know. My parents were educated.
And think about it. You went to one of the highest institutions at Harvard.
Yeah, right. I didn't know.
It's not anything they're going to teach you, because the biggest thing is that when it comes to negotiations, we don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. That's in life.
Right. Because Harvard taught me how to negotiate with clients. But I never thought, I always said that, I negotiated more for other people than I did for myself for a long time.
The women do it all the time.
People than
especially Black women, all the time.
Yeah.
They put their kids in front of them. They put, their spouse, which is not, I'm not saying to neglect those things, but
it's just making sure you at least at the table, because a lot of times we got everybody at the table and we sitting in a little kid's chair over in the corner watching folks eat at the table we done prepared. Come on, y'all. Come on.
Slaves over that dinner.
Come on.
Right.
But yes, but
one thing I want to tell you is that when it comes to women, I think a lot of us have started to really wake up and really realize that for many, many years, we have sat back and just said, you know what, I'm going to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have to lose? That's what most men do.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't even qualify. They apply.
I don't think about some of the dudes that come up to y'all in the club.
Right.
Some of them
rejection.
you got to I mean, they don't care. They don't care what they look like. They don't go for it. And you know, and all they get all she do is tell me, no, we need to be like them ugly dudes in the club when it comes to our money, y'all.
Right.
We need to not be afraid. And that's one of the things that I've just really embraced is saying this, you know, I'm gonna ask for it. The worst thing that can happen is that they tell me no, but the really worst thing is that I don't ask for it and don't get it because I never asked for it.
The answer is always no, because scared money don't make money.
Right. Because we say no to ourselves a lot of times before we ever give anybody the opportunity to say no. And I just wanted to share what Patrice said. You know, she said, yes, I'm learning you must make yourself an asset and know what your worth is.
Right. And she said no Amazon on the list too.
Oh, yeah, I know. The best thing I have done for Amazon is take my credit card off. I have my debit card on there. But
did you know that Amazon is one of the fastest growing companies that's actually showing people how to create a business?
Yeah. That's on my list. That is on my list. Is what kind of empire I'm gonna build on empire.
Right. Learn how to monetize Amazon because they've helped a lot of stay-at-home moms become wealthy. Mm-hmm. And I want to tell you this quick story. And I was so it brought tears to my eyes. So I'm working with this lady. She's a first-time home buyer. She's in her late 40s, early 50s, I believe. She's a single mom. Her son is like maybe 12, 13 years old, African-American lady. So she, been wanting her own house. And we went out looking over the past weekend because right when I got off the plane, I went to go show some houses to her and stuff. And so today she was like, yeah, because, she has a career. She has a mom she's taking care of. So she said, oh, by the way, did I mention to you that I'm going to pay cash? When she said that, I said, yes. Yeah. I said, that's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Because that should give people hope no matter how long it takes. Mm-hmm. That's why I said that to you, sis. It's going to be less than 2 years.
Yeah. And, and one of my goals, too, I said, I want to pay cash for my house.
That's right. That's right. And you would have never even thought or looked at her thinking, and it ain't, we're in the threes, almost, up close to 4, mm-hmm. but she's doing it cash, mm-hmm. no matter how long. And I'm not saying that, somebody getting a loan is bad, but I say that to say that she did not sit around and wait for her circumstance to be the way it is. Yeah. And she's been saving and she's been working, she sells jewelry on the side. And I said to myself, you know what, I cannot wait till she get the keys, mm-hmm. To her house. And mm-hmm. I said, and that actually gave me hope, mm-hmm. because I also have on my goals. I want to, pay a house cash and, mm-hmm. buy veterans homes, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to just even getting outside of our own way, mm-hmm. when it comes to finances, we can truly bless some people. Mm-hmm. Until we do that, I'm telling you, but I cannot wait. But I had to share that with you.
Yes.
She has waiting, and I don't know if she's ever been married or not, but I know this is her first house, mm-hmm. and she's buying it cash.
And that's a great story to just really highlight that it's all about making those CEO moves. She had a dream about owning her own home.
Yeah.
Came up with a plan.
That's right.
She worked her plan and executed it, and now she's she has positioned herself. And that's something that I really want y'all to think about, the power, because you and I talked about this.
Yes, right.
We talked about that. But just the power of positioning yourself for wealth. Right. Because a lot of times we don't truly do that. We don't position ourselves for wealth, and we've got to start thinking like CEOs. CEOs are always thinking about their position in the market. They're thinking about their position relative to their competitors. Not that they're worrying about what their competitors are doing, but they need to know so they know how to position themselves based on their own merits. Right. And as a CEO of your life, you got to do that too. So,
right.
So we have gone way over. We were supposed to
we can talk all day, all night.
But this is a good topic to be talking about. I get excited when we get to talking about money because you get ideas, you get encouraged, and you get empowered, and that's what Conversations from the C-Suite is about. We want you to feel something, learn something, do something. So I hope y'all feel excited about making money. I hope you have learned something, that has helped you to think about your relationship with money. Mm-hmm. Think about the relationship between your debt and your self-esteem, and be really honest with yourself. Are you buying things to make yourself feel better and then feeling bad about the debt you're getting yourself into?
That's right.
And the thing is, if you are there, if you've been there, don't feel bad about it. Just do something about it. You know, Jennifer and I have shared, we have both been there, you know.
Yes, and still on the journey. We still on the journey.
Right, you know, because it's still a challenge for me. You know, I have an art problem. I don't buy expensive purses, but y'all, some of the artwork that I have, you know, you'd be like, you pay what? You know, but you know, I used to
it though.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, but that's how I justify. That's how I justify. This is an investment. It's going to appreciate in value. Yeah, it is, but it still may not get an investment at the time. So, but you know, we have to be honest with yourself. So that's something that I hope you take away from this is, you know, really be honest about your relationship with money. You know, because and particularly for a lot of believers, we mishear that money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. And sometimes we love money more than we love ourselves.
That's right.
Are making financial decisions that are destroying our lives. So we've got to be honest about it. And then once you're honest with yourself about your wealth mindset, because remember, you cannot pursue wealth with the poverty mindset. Okay.
That's right.
Then you've got to learn how to do it. And I know Jennifer is going to share some information about Purse Power Network. That is one of the tools that is out there, because she is going to help us get our powerful purses together. The purse power, so that our power, that what is in our purse, i.e. the representation of our bank account is more wealth is worth more than the purse itself. Because I'd rather carry a little purse from Walmart and have $1,000 in it than to buy $1,000 purses. I have done that. I have been in the Walmart. I have a shoe problem too, and a pair of Jimmy Choo shoes, worried about whether my debit card was going to cover my purchase. I'm a keep it real. And that's when I said, girl, you got a problem. You got on Jimmy Choos and you worried about whether this card gonna cover your purchases. You got to get yourself together. So anyway,
that's but no, you hit on something, because it doesn't matter the shoe, it doesn't matter the title. Like sometimes people want to throw out titles. No, I would rather wear, which I do. I wear some of the same clothes. I was thankful when now I'm gonna tell you, because cars, I used to trade a car every 2 years, and I said, you know what, this is ridiculous, because it's really getting me from A to B. And then I realized some of my other wealthy friends that bought used cars.
Yeah.
I found that out. I said, you know what? I'm paying this car off. I'm gonna ride it from the rooter to the tutor, as they say.
Yeah, my polo car.
Or they, you know, position their business with the lease. You know, talk to your CPA on that. But it is about truly a different mindset with it. But the thing I love about, as far as Purse Power Network, is to really help women. We have some men too, because they said they're getting their wallet power. So I was like, okay, I hear you.
That's right.
So just helping women gain financial leverage, no matter where you are from. If, you know, someone that may have been foreclosed or bankruptcy, to, you know, credit not being as well, to having great credit and you just want to leverage your credit, to, you know, maybe starting with not, you know, little finances, or even just negotiating what you truly deserve. Through Purse Power Network, we really are a sisterhood of women. We support each other. There, you know, no competition, because you got different women in different backgrounds that do different things, or even if they're doing the same thing, we are all together on a journey. Like I like to say, we are all sisters on a journey. And Purse Power Network is just going to help add some additional streams of income. You know, we got ladies in our group that do direct sales. We have ladies that do, you know, they're stay-at-home moms, but they still want to create that financial leverage for themselves. Or we also have ladies within Purse Power Network that trade foreign currency with us, or do real estate investing, or even those that want to capitalize on their book. So it doesn't matter what level someone is, you know, they truly can start from where they are and gain financial leverage, you know, because 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, it's going to come regardless. So you might as well just work that plan now, put it in motion, you know, don't be fearful, just take the jump and really, truly design what your life is. And, they can actually reach us. And, you and I are going to be doing some more collaboration things together, which I love on the C-suite.
Yes. Yes. So, our C-suite needs some purse power. Yes, ma'am.
But yeah, so they can reach us through purse power. Of course, they can actually, now I have a free assessment. Is it okay if I tell them?
Yes.
So the first thing when we start everyone with is a free assessment, a power assessment. And you can actually get your free assessment. This is my free gift that we actually give. And some of our corporate executives on our team actually put this together. And we want to honor and give it away to all the women and anyone that wants to do it. So you can actually text PURSE to 919-355-3909. And that will give them a free assessment to where they can actually go and see where they are from like A to Z. Yeah, so they text PURSE to 919-355-3909, or they can also email me, Jennifer@pursepowernetwork.com.
So Jennifer@pursepowernetwork.com. Pursepowernetwork.com. And so again, you can text PURSE. I got it kind of backwards on the screen, but I was trying to get the number out first.
Yeah, no, that's great.
919-355-3909. And you can get an assessment, because you cannot fix what you will not face. Remember that.
Oh, I love that.
Cannot fix what you will not face. So you gotta face yourself. And
I need to tweet that.
Quote Stephanie D. Barnes on that. Yes. Cannot fix what you will not face. Yes. Well, I just want to thank you so much, Jennifer. We could go on and on and on.
I know.
But really talking about all these different things that really help us to make those money moves. Because, if we want to be CEOs of our lives, we have to be honest. It takes money to do it.
That's right.
A mindset with money, a healthy relationship with money, and we need to develop healthy behaviors so that we can truly acquire the wealth we desire and deserve. So I just want to thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. And we'll have you back on here again at some point. And I don't know where in the world we'll see each other next.
Yes. And I really, really, really want to say thank you for all that you're doing to uplift women, to celebrate women, to help women, become, the CEOs. Not everyone has the opportunity or had the opportunity to go to Harvard. And you're such a smart, intelligent, just sweet. You just come from the heart. And I really want to say thank you, because the things that you're planning in women when it comes to business, getting, business or corporate life together, it does not go, void. So just know that the women that you're helping, and you know what I'm talking about, the ones that were coming up to you that you even know. She has a fan club, y'all. She has a fan club. But that just means that you're walking in your purpose. It really does. And I just want to say thank you, because you don't let the doctor in front of you, in front of your name, put you up on a status where you don't work with women on all levels. So I appreciate you.
Oh, well, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. That makes me feel good. I receive it. And y'all, and one of the things I hope y'all know too, you need to, and when people give you thanks or give you praise, receive it. Because a lot of times as women, I'm not doing. Yes, we are. And because Jennifer is doing some awesome things in her own right. And ladies, we have to learn to receive when others see us in our purpose. So I thank you and I receive that. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. All right, girl. Well, I will see you. Thank you so much for being with us in the C-suite. And y'all make sure that you text PURSE to 919-355-3909 so that you can get your assessment, because you heard it. Dr. Stephanie D. Barnes told you cannot fix what you will not face. So thank you so much, Jennifer. I really appreciate it.
All right, sis. Okay.
Okay. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for joining me here in the C-suite. It is always a pleasure to have great conversations. And of course, tonight's episode was brought to you by C-Suite Women's Network, where you can learn how to be the CEO of your life. So, the C-suite is where women create the lives, careers, and businesses that they desire and deserve. But here, the conversations are more than just conversations. We want to equip you to make money moves. So I hope that you felt something, you learned something, but y'all, you got to make sure you do something. Make your CEO moves. Create those circles of influence. Connect yourself to somebody that's going to help you on the way to the C-suite. Educate and empower yourself for elevation and operationalize what you learn to optimize your outcomes. Because remember, whether you report to the CEO or are the CEO of your own company, you are always the CEO of your life. So embark upon these strategies, embrace them to capitalize your most powerful asset, the power to choose, the power to choose those extraordinary outcomes that you desire and deserve. So here, until next time, I want to just thank you so much for joining me here in Conversations from the C-Suite Live with Dr. Stephanie D. Barnes, your host, giving you the girlfriend's guide to the C-suite. And remember, though, that the power is not in the conversation, but in the CEO moves that you make. Don't just talk about it, be about it, baby. But don't wait. Remember, wait broke the scale. Now is the time to do what you know needs to be done. And as I always tell you, your life is the product of your choices. Choose to be the CEO of your life. I am Dr. Stephanie D. Barnes, your host, Conversations from the C-Suite, the girlfriend's guide to being the CEO. And it has been my pleasure. And until next time, choose to be the CEO of your life.